I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan, your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be f***ing sour, take a cold shower. Scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder. And f*** all the doubters, they're just your downers. I swear to God they all let me down.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Just Like Smith's video. You're tuning in to episode 2 pretty much of reassembling the F250 that we've been building here on the YouTube channel. So we just now got back from powder coat again, picking up some more parts. We've got all of the leaf springs, we've got the front axle that we can finally start putting back together, and we've got the traction bars. And then inside here we also have 2 4-link arms. And we have our transmission indexing, the transfer case index transmission cross member. So, gonna unload all of this stuff. As you can see, we're putting Devin to work. So after I get all this stuff unloaded, then we'll talk about what we're gonna do. I think we're gonna put the leaves together in this video. And I want to do a separate video on assembling the axle. So anyway, we're going to get this stuff unloaded and we'll go from there. Okay guys, so alright, so I'm about to give you some bad advice and some good advice by showing you how to put these together. The bad advice is that I didn't remove my bushings whenever I had them powder coated. These are brand spanking new leaf springs. I've done probably 4 or 5 sets like this and never had an issue at all. If you have a 6.0, you can buy polyurethane rebuildable bushings from Energy Suspension. I'll try to link those in the description box down below. I've never had an issue, and I don't daily drive the truck. I don't pull heavy with the truck. I don't plan on keeping the truck like this long, probably. I don't know. If they ever go out, I'll just make a YouTube video on changing them. So let's just say I'm testing this out for YouTube. So I didn't change the bushings, so go ahead and comment about powder coated bushings. All right, so you have these plastic insulators. So you're gonna have your bottom leaf spring. You have 1 plastic insulator on your bottom leaf spring. Okay guys, so on the 6.0, there is a long side and a short side from 08 through 16. I don't know about the Alumiduties. They're straight too, actually. We've done powder coated ones on a truck here on the channel. So they're actually straight too on both sides. Anyway, so one side is shorter than the other, but you start with the bottom leaf. We're gonna go ahead and take this leaf spring stud, or I forget the technical term. It's been a long day. So we're gonna shove this up through here, and then we're gonna put on our square pad. So these are 6-inch overstock, soft ride Skyjacker, I think. I'm pretty sure these are the Skyjacker pre-bowed leaf springs. So after you put that square pad down and you've got your stud through your longest one, we're gonna drop the next one on. Now here's where you start putting the insulators in. So it's gonna go just like this. And you just push that down. And push that down. And then you're ready for your next leaf spring. Same thing on the next one. Now I'm going to show this to you guys in live time because some people like longer videos, some people like shorter ones. This one is going to be an extra in-depth one, I guess. Not much editing. Okay, so now you're probably wondering, what do we do? Well, you get your trusty friend. Everybody needs a friend like Scott. And we're gonna push these down. You get it? And you can do this by hand. Now, if you do the add-a-leaf, then you won't be able to do this by hand. You'll have to put it in like a bench vise or something. You get that on pretty good? Push it on there. If you can. Okay. There you have it. So we've got that nut cinched down. You also have a bolt and a sleeve that goes on each side right here. On top of that, I still have to paint the sleeve that goes right here. And then, so what this is your axle will be through here. That pin in the bottom will go in a hole in your axle. Then you're gonna have U-bolts that come up from the top or come up from the bottom. And it's gonna go, this is gonna sit right here. The U-bolts are gonna come up through here, and then your nuts will tighten right here. Make sure you get your nuts tight. Okay, so what I'm gonna do next is straighten up this leaf spring as straight as possible. All right, guys, so I just now laid 2 microfibers on there. And then you wanna go as close to this center pin as possible, because if this does make a mark on the powder coat, you would never see it. Same goes with the top. But with the microfibers, you should be good. All right, guys, so now what you want to do is come in here with some vice grips. Some of these leaf spring center pins, that's the word that I was trying to think of earlier. I sound so professional now. Some of these leaf spring center pins will have a straight line in them, and some of them don't. If your leaf pack is compressed really, really tight, then this bolt isn't really going to give you a huge amount of trouble. But if you are trying to squash the leaf pack together using like vice grips or a flathead screwdriver and just driving this together, and you're actually making the bolt work and compress, you can strip these out. Ask me how I know. I've done it before. But just to get them to the bottom, not bad at all. Just a solid like 3 Ugga-Duggas is proper torque spec on this. And I'll show you the damage. So now we have this together. The powder is just a little bit flaked right there. That's really just the candy top coat. And then right here's a little spot. If you watched my last video, you could technically put some electrical tape over this, and then that would resolve that issue and that wouldn't even have happened. So I don't know what this video holds and what all we're gonna put together, but we're definitely gonna at least get the leaf springs on. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this other leaf pack together off camera, and then we're gonna mount them on the truck. It's 2 bolts. I don't have to explain it. If you're this far ahead, you already know how to put them back on. Yeah. Finally got a leaf pack. What did you say? so we just now got this coilover hanging. So after we get the axle bushings for the 4-link arms in this axle, which is right here. So after we get these bushings pressed in, which I'll have a video on, after we get those bushings pressed in, then we will mount the 4-link arms to the axle, and we will put the coilover conversion brackets on the axle, and then we will mount the bottom of the coilover to the axle. So then you'll have the axle here, and it'll just be hanging from the 4-link arms and from the coilovers. So then you'll just have the axle just free and moving, and you'll be able to put all of your track bar, drag link, tie rod bar, knuckles, gears. Don't put the gears in until you get it all underneath the truck and hanging. All you need to do is just put the axle bushings in, because there's no sense in putting those gears on when the axle is on the jack stands, because all you do is you risk the axle falling off. So whenever the axle falls off, that's not good, obviously. So you don't want the axle to fall off. So you want to do as little work as possible with the axle on jack stands. So we'll put the gears and all that stuff in after we get the axle into the after we get the axle hung underneath the truck. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how this coilover conversion worked. So as I said, it will have a bottom bracket, which is right there. Those 2 brackets right there. Those mount to your axle, bolt on, no welding, no drilling, no nothing. Just literally, I think it's a 19 or a 21 or an 18 or something. 1 bolt, take it out of the bottom. Your axle is converted over to accept a coilover with just those brackets. On the top, we did have to remove our factory stock bucket, which I had already done. So I do have a video on that actually on my channel. It's an older video. Up here, we have these bolts coming through, and they are coming through a billet CNC'd aluminum PMF bracket that is made for this. And then I do not have my resi clamps, my billet resi clamps in yet. They're still at powder coat. So that's why there's a zip tie right there. But I just want to show you guys what it would look like. So what you want to do is you want to bolt this billet bracket to the coilover, and then you install the whole assembly in there with these 4 bolts. And then it comes out like this. So me, Scott, and Devin, man, it sounds so weird like naming off people helping me. Me, Scott, and Devin are going to now put the other side together. It's awesome, by the way. A huge shout out to Scott and Devin. Thank you all so much.
I've been here for every one of them.
Scott says that he's been here for every one of them. Devin does. Anyway, thank you guys so much. I know you're watching this in the future, so thank you guys. I appreciate it more than you all know. But it's really nice having an extra hand around the shop, especially 4 extra hands. So we're getting stuff done. We're getting stuff done good, and it's not wearing me out and killing me, even though it is. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and put the other side together, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, guys, so we've got both of the coilovers on now. As you can see behind me, we've got that one. We've got both of the leaf springs on now. So super quick, simple. I hope you guys learned a little bit about how leaf springs come apart, how they go together. I'm going to do a video next on the calipers, I think. I really want to get my calipers together. So the next video that I post will probably be how to powder coat your calipers, not physically how to powder coat them. I'll show you where to tell your powder coat or not to put powder coat, and explain to you how to disassemble them, and explain to you how to reassemble them, show you where I got the seals and all of that. I'll talk about that in the caliper video. So we'll get those together in the next video, hopefully. And then after that, we're going to do a video on indexing the transfer case. And I have to at least get the transmission cross member in, which I have right here now. So I can go ahead and put that in. I don't know if I'll be able to do a very detailed video on how to index that. I may just make a video doing like an overview, explaining what all that involved and showing everything in the future. Because I don't know if I'll have much help putting that in. And we've got to get the transmission jacked up, and I've got so many videos going right now that you guys don't even know about. So I've got some awesome stuff in the works. And then we've still got to put on our horn blasters kit. We've still got to put on the rock lights. I've still got to work in the middle of all this too, guys. So there's a lot going on right now. I have a lot on my plate. Y'all are tuned into the Josh Knox Smith channel, and I truly, truly appreciate each and every one of you all. Some of these brackets can, as soon as we get the rear end in, we can go ahead and put the blocks together. We can go and put the U-bolts on. We can get that rear axle under there. It's super quick and easy. The front axle is what's a little bit harder. Right here is that transmission cross member that I was telling you about. We've got to swap that out from the factory one to this one, so then we can index our transfer case. and then that front drive shaft. We will no longer have a Bluetooth front drive shaft. But that's going to be pretty much all for today's video, guys. I really, really appreciate y'all watching more than you'll ever know. Always remember, everybody starts out as nobody. Oh, yeah, also, thank you all for 13,000 subscribers. We just now hit 13,000 subscribers. We're already past it. We're like 13,020 or 30, 40. I don't remember. I haven't looked in a couple of hours, but it's going up, guys. I really appreciate the support, and I know that y'all are loving this build so far. And after seeing those coilovers in those buckets and the leaf springs and that extra 4-link bracket right there, you guys can already start to picture it, especially after seeing that axle. This thing's going to look amazing, guys. So stay tuned for the next video. I've got a lot of helpful YouTube content coming up. So hopefully you guys learn quite a bit. Always remember, everybody starts out as nobody, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Shamon. Damn it. That was like, hang on a second. Shamon.